Don't worry, I have a plan. I saw this in a movie about a bus that had to speed around the city, keeping its speed over 50. And if its speed dropped, it would explode. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Jackie and Brian are talking about the movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to a movie film commentary track. My name is Zaki Hassan, and I'm here with Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zaki?
Brian, I gotta say, doing this commentary, it's ironic because it's taken so long for us to get to this. Given that
this film?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I'm pretty sure I've said this is one of my favorite movies. Is this? I don't know where this ranks for you, actually. Where is this movie for you?
I would say that as far as the 90s plethora of Die Hard clones go, this is above the top.
I would agree with that. And I do think it's a great movie that doesn't need to be defended, but I will defend my passion for it because this was a movie that I saw at a perfect age. I saw it at 14.
Yes.
And this was my first R-rated movie in the theater.
Wow.
So this was sort of monumental in that way, but it was also, it's just the perfect age for me to see like a cool movie like this and have it completely imprint itself on me.
Did we say what this movie is?
I think we said Speed.
Okay. Just making sure.
If we didn't, we're seeing this movie about a bus that couldn't slow down.
This is 1994 Speed. It is celebrating its 25th anniversary this summer, and this really, as far as movie film commentaries go, this has been the year of Keanu.
Yeah, I thought about that as we were setting up. I mean, I hesitate to call it a Keanu-sance because in my heart, Keanu never went away.
That's true.
But we are definitely in the middle of a period where people are rediscovering or rekindling their love for Keanu the man.
Yeah.
Right?
And it just so happens that we we did our Bill and Ted commentary a few months ago. We did The Matrix a couple months ago. So we're ahead of the curve. That's my point.
Yeah. Wow. That didn't even occur to me.
Yeah.
All these anniversaries. But I mean, yeah, this is... I mean, I guess this is as a historical document to explain what the heck we're talking about. But for some reason, people are just falling over themselves, professing their love for Keanu these days. And all these stories are coming out where people are sharing these random encounters they've had with him of him being out of his way kind to them. Right?
Right. Which is, I mean... It's weird. I think it's like social media has just discovered that Keanu Reeves is a nice guy. But, I mean, if you pay attention to this stuff, that's always been part of the ether.
Yeah, I remember hearing these stories back with The Matrix.
Yes,
where
how
he
gave his salary to, like, the effects crew and things like that.
Yeah, and he bought, like, the stunt team, all these, like, Ducati motorcycles and... Yeah. And then there's videos that have been going around for years where it's like him on a subway giving up his seat. People filming him doing those sorts of things.
He truly is Ted Theodore Logan in that he just tries to be excellent to each other.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So Speed is kind of, if we're looking at the Keanuography, TM copyright. I'm going to put that on t-shirts. It is an important film because it's what moved him to another tier.
Yes.
Now, obviously, he had done Parenthood and Bill and Ted movies, and
Point Break, we should note.
Right, and Point Break was like his first foray into a non sort of comedic role, but that was sold on Patrick Swayze just as much as Keanu Reeves.
That, and he was also playing a guy who surfs. Right?
True. Good point.
So it did sort of lead into the Keanu that we knew at that time. But this was like, no, we're going to take all the dudism things that we attached to him, right, that have been there since, say, Bill and Ted or whatever. And this is like, no, this is Keanu, action star.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's jump right into the film, and then we can have our conversation as we watch.
Yeah, let's do it.
We can jump on a bus that's already in motion. Brian.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get on that bus. There's going to be a lot of that. I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of karaoke on this for me.
I'm that's what I've been looking forward to. So we are watching the one and only cut of Speed. We are up to speed. We are ready to go. We are at 0 on the time code. If you want to watch along with us, please feel free. If you don't want to watch along, that's fine, because you'll be hearing Brian performing the movie for you at various times. So it's all good. So we will play on 3. We will go 1, 2, 3, play. Brian, you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, play.
Another Disney movie.
20th Century Fox, a Disney subsidiary. Who knew?
Look at that logo. Isn't that funny? I mean, that looks like almost like South Park, right? Where it's like a cutout with some other cutouts being moved in the background. Versus what we have, this huge digital.
Right.
Or CGI, I should say.
When did it switch over to like the CGI version of the Fox logo? I assumed it would have been by this time, by 1994, but I guess not.
That's a good question. I don't know. But it's kind of impressive, actually, because when you look at it, it's a map of Los Angeles or Hollywood, and it actually has the Fox monument set up where the studio is geographically in town.
I've never paid attention to that.
Yeah, I was like, I just noticed that once, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's a little removed from the sign. It's over a little west.
I'm amazed that I've never picked up on that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, geez, where to begin? I mean, let's start with the Die Hard clone thing, because you recently had a tweet interaction that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was prepping for this commentary and watching it, so I posted it on Twitter. I was like, now watching the greatest Die Hard clone ever made, or something like that. And that tweet was liked and retweeted by Stephen E. D'Souza, who of course wrote the screenplay for Die Hard.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I thought that was neat.
He's like, damn right, Krusty, my man, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of this movie's place in at the moment that it came out, the early to mid '90s was sort of this bumper crop of Die Hard on a blank.
Yes.
And that really is like a moment in time, because I think it hasn't really transcended that era. But you had Under Siege and Blown Away and Passenger 57, and I mean, you name it. Yeah, like regular-ish guy thrown into extraordinary claustrophobic situation. Yes, cliffhanger.
Oh, costume designer. I've worked with her, Ellen Moroznik.
There's going to be a lot of that too during this.
Yeah, sorry, I always get really tickled by that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yes, that was like a total era.
Yes. Toy Soldiers, remember that one?
Toy Soldiers. Oh, I'd like to watch that again.
Me too.
Do you think this is real? By the way, as we're watching the credits, we're descending down an elevator shaft, and it just keeps going and going. Nowadays, I would be convinced that this is CGI, but I can't tell.
I believe this is real.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a certain look to it that, especially for CGI of that era, would not have been able to replicate.
Yeah.
And I by the way, I love the music. That to me is one of the most important parts of this movie, is the Trevor Rabin dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
That again feels very specifically mid '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jan de Bont directed this. He was DP on Die Hard.
Yes.
And so originally, the movie was originally taken to Paramount, and it's kind of crazy because Graham Yost, who came up with the story, he was inspired by a film called Runaway Train, which is like a Canon Pictures thing.
Is that where Soul Asylum got that?
Maybe.
Call you up.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But that was like a mid '70s movie, I want to say. No, mid '80s.
Oh wow, is that what Pelham 123 is about? I've never seen that.
No,
like a runaway train? No. Well, not runaway. There's like a terrorist on it.
There's like this was like there's a train that it's in the title. It's a runaway train. It can't slow down.
Yeah.
And so Graham Yost his dad recommended the movie to him. But his dad was like, "Oh, it's about this train that can't slow down, and there's a bomb on it." And there wasn't a bomb on it. Like, that was just he was misremembering. But Graham Yost was like, "That's a great idea for something."
That's pretty great. A mistake created a great idea.
Isn't that funny?
Misremembering, I should say.
Just a mistaken memory. So he took it to Paramount, and Paramount initially wanted John McTiernan to direct it, and McTiernan.
Totally. You totally get that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because McTiernan, for those of you who don't know, he did Die Hard.
And it might have looked quite similar to this in a way.
Yeah, well, that was my thought. And so McTiernan was like, well, I did this already. And he was like, you should get Jan de Bont, who had not directed anything. This is his first movie as a director.
And I mean, come on.
What a debut, right?
Talk about a spectacular debut.
And the frustrating thing about Jan de Bont's directing career is how brief it was, because he's basically retired as a director.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate.
I mean, there's like no apologizing for this coming from a first-time director. This feels like it was made by a completely seasoned and accomplished action director.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, you know, we're talking about CGI and stuff, and I think a big part of why this movie works is how grounded it is and how practical it is.
Yeah, and I think we've been talking about this recently. I mean, it's because they didn't have a choice, right? Like they were limited by what computers could do, and now, you know, we were talking about the recent Terminator 6, whatever it is, you know, that's coming out, and it to me, it's not looking like a Terminator movie because of they can do anything in a computer now, so the physics of the reality of that movie don't match the physics from the previous movies that were all grounded, right? So I think it works in some movies' benefits. I mean, obviously, it's great to have computers to make things safer. And look, that's so ridiculous, that car going over the hill.
Right?
It's like, this is the movie you're watching now.
So
like,
here's Jeff Daniels as likable doomed partner.
Yeah. Actually, and you know what's funny? This is the same summer Dumb and Dumber came out. I didn't know that.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, you got one theater, Jeff Daniels doing this thing, and the other one, him having snot coming down his nose and going diarrhea on a toilet.
And there's your
Joe
boy,
Morton.
Joe Morton.
Put him in everything, man. I love Joe Morton.
He's just one of those guys, yeah.
He is.
And this was very shortly after Terminator 2.
Yeah, just 3 years.
Yeah. But, and my gosh, Jeff Daniels looks so young in this, my gosh.
He does. Yeah.
He's on stage right now as Atticus Finch.
Yeah, man, wouldn't that be great to catch that?
I would love to watch that. Yeah, it's on Broadway. It's like a new version of To Kill a Mockingbird with Aaron Sorkin having written the script.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing. So Keanu Reeves,
yes,
comes in and you know, people have sort of shit on his acting abilities for a long time. Again, we mentioned at the beginning, nowadays people are sort of coming around to appreciating him for who he is. But I remember him taking a fair amount of crap for his performance in this movie by snooty film people. And I think it's deceptive how good he is in this.
I entirely agree. I've always, because I was a kid when I was introduced to Keanu Reeves, I always have liked Keanu Reeves.
Yes, I agree.
And I remember getting annoyed when people would always like, dude, whoa.
Yes.
I'm like, well, yeah, but...
That's like one movie.
Yeah, that's one movie. And he does... He's a guy who brings his personality to every role. I mean, there's no denying that.
Yes.
So you put him in these movies where that thrives. And I feel like this is one of those films where... You know, he does have a little bit of that cool guy sort of youngish attitude going on, but he feels entirely capable. He never feels like a dude bro who could never accomplish this job, right?
Right.
But it happens because the movie wants it to. Like, no, I feel like he comes off as a really good cop in this movie.
And that's the thing, right? So Jan de Bont, Paramount ultimately puts it into turnaround, and so Jan de Bont and Graham Yost take it to 20th Century Fox. Keanu Reeves gets involved at Jan de Bont's suggestion. So
yes.
he was his pick, and he liked him in Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the interesting thing to me is that the character as written, Jack Traven, was more of like a John McClane clone.
Like a haggard guy, like a over it kind of person. Or?
Exactly, like wisecracking, you know, and you know, kind of because that was the shtick at the time. When you think about it, when you look at the Die Hard on a blank template, you had Steven Seagal and Wesley Snipes.
Always bet on black.
Yeah, exactly, right, and so they dialed that way back at Keanu Reeves' request.
Huh.
And that's my point. I think he had enough awareness to be like, you know what, that's not the way I want to play this character. And if when you really take a high level view of Jack Traven, he's not a John McClone, because he's very earnest. Mm-hmm. He's the good guy just trying to help people.
And if you didn't have someone like Keanu who brings his Keanu-ness, then that would just be very flat.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But what he brings makes that sparkle.
Yeah, and when you look at like the other people that they were looking for or looking at in terms of casting this character, it just, I don't know that it would have worked. It wouldn't have worked in the same way. It was kind of the usual, the rogues gallery of sort of mid-90s leading men.
Yeah, I mean, you can see George Clooney doing this, right? And then it becomes like The Peacemaker or something,
Right.
And you're like, I mean, obviously no offense to George Clooney, like he does what he does. But like, yeah, this movie has a fun element to it, and I think all of the casting involved helps that, especially the bonkersness of Dennis Hopper.
Yes.
By the way, so we should mention what's going on.
Yes.
We have this whole elevator with a bomb on it situation. Dennis Hopper has commandeered this elevator, and we have hostages inside. And this is like a great little short film.
Yes.
Isn't it? I mean, this goes on much longer than you think a thing like this would go on these days.
And what's perfect about it is that we get the byplay between Jeff Daniels and Keanu Reeves that really cements their relationship, and it cements Harry as likable doomed partner. Which is important. And I feel like even at this stage, when I saw this movie, I had by then become sophisticated enough to be like, oh, his ass dead. Like 2 minutes in,
Yeah.
But it also shows that they are good at their job. They're not that maverick playing by the seat of your pants and, oh, I'm going to throw the book at you. It isn't that.
Yes. And it's, what's interesting too is that this is perpetrated by our villain for the movie. This isn't some random incident.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I was just seeing him on screen right now. That just occurred to me. Oh, and this whole deal, I forgot about with the crane.
Yes.
This is so good. And I think the practical effect of this crane, when it eventually comes unbolted and flies through the vent in the elevator shaft, that really adds to the yikes. Like you kind of whipping back in your seat. Like, I don't want that thing cutting me in half. It's great.
I was, and real quick, I just want to mention, I was saying this before, Stephen Baldwin was the original choice for Jack Traven.
Isn't that fascinating? Did he do that Cindy Crawford movie? Is that the Baldwin?
No, that's Billy Baldwin.
Okay.
Get your Baldwins in a row. Stephen Baldwin is One Tough Cop.
All right.
Based on that complete silence, we know the
actually trying to place the poster or a trailer in my head, and I can't do it. And no, good for him, man.
You know, the only reason I know that, Brian, is there's an episode. This is so random. There's an episode of The King of Queens where Tim Matheson plays this dentist who his whole shtick is like, who's one of my patients? Stephen Baldwin. He's got a poster for One Tough Cop, and it's autographed by Stephen Baldwin, and it says "To One Tough Dentist."
That's pretty funny.
And Stephen Baldwin isn't even in the episode, but it's just his essence permeates it.
I like that.
That's the only reason I know that movie. But anyway, the whole scenario that we're seeing play out here, it really, because I watched the movie a couple days ago with the family, and all my kids ended up watching, and this is very R-rated, but I feel like this is like the okay kind of R-rated that you can watch with your kids.
Yeah, I have that same sort of feeling. I forget that it's R-rated. I mean, I'm sure it is for a reason.
Yeah, they drop F-bombs with gusto. Quite
okay. Yeah. I remember a few of them that are pretty funny, but this feels very like hard PG-13 to me.
Yes, that's absolutely what it would be today, no question about it.
Yeah.
But Roger Ebert in his review, he refers to it as a bruised forearm movie.
Oh, because you're gripping your seat the whole time?
Yeah, or your partner, you're like grabbing their arm, you know?
Ah, that delights me that I didn't know, but that Ebert liked this movie.
Oh, he loved it. He gave it 4 stars. And that's literally what my wife was doing throughout, because she hadn't seen this in a while.
Okay.
So it felt very new to her. So right here, the elevator scene, gripping.
Yeah.
And it's so true. I mean, this whole elevator scene is so perfect because you can imagine yourself on this elevator.
Yes. Yes.
And if you're in the back, you're like, hurry your ass up.
Yeah. Yeah. And this sequence is so perfect. It's one of those things we always talk about where it's one location scenario that keeps shifting in peril.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, well, we're scared because we're stuck, but then they come up with this temporary solution, but now it's incrementally falling apart. So they only have they have a ticking clock that we understand. And especially when they open the doors here and they're trying to get each person out and it keeps moving and there's less and less of a window for them to escape. And there's that one woman that won't go and you're like, just go, lady.
Yeah, right.
I love this too, by the way. It just didn't occur to me till right now, this very viewing, that we're getting the same sort of idea of the bus where you have these personalities in a small space. And even though we don't get to know any of these people's names, there's like a woman who's flirting with a guy, and then there's the guy who's getting picked on by the cool guy. And like there's a whole personality going on in this elevator, just like in the bus later with all the random people.
Yes.
It's kind of funny.
It's, as a comparison, I look at something recent, like, for example, Skyscraper, the Dwayne Johnson movie, and that's very much trying to be in this vein,
Yeah.
And you realize why it doesn't work, and I think part of that is because the whole conceit in that film about this skyscraper that's like something out of like a Star Trek movie. It's so unbelievable, and it just detaches us from the reality of the scenario.
And it's funny because my favorite set piece in that movie, and the one that I remember the most, is when he has to go outside the building from point A to point B.
I was thinking of exactly that.
And he's using duct tape.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
And you're like, that could work. Yeah. So you sort of buy it, and you're like, I don't know, but that duct tape, the stickiness will go away. And it's completely understandable.
Yes.
And
that's, look at the lady. You're like, lady?
Yeah, I know.
But then, again, Brian, what would you do in this situation?
I was just going to say, though, looking at her face, I was like, I get it. I get why she's scared
of getting cut in half.
Yeah. Right? But we got to go.
Yeah, right? Yikes.
Boom.
As that thing falls. I mean, I think it's really important that they do rescue her, that there aren't any fatalities in that elevator, because I think we really do need to establish, again, that they are just that good.
Yes.
I think it's sort of, if you look at, for example, like the movie Cliffhanger, I think it's a very important part of that movie that Sylvester Stallone fails to save that woman at the very beginning.
Sure.
Which I don't think you've seen Cliffhanger.
I'm very familiar with that scene because it's been parodied so many times, but no, I haven't.
So, sorry, spoiler, Brian.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And everybody. Yeah, he fails to save her, and that's sort of his arc, right? And I think that's important because Stallone was that archetype of the indomitable hero. And so right away you're subverting that. Here, Keanu Reeves is playing an everyman, and I think it's important to demonstrate him early on as being triumphant, and then you put him in a position where things don't go the way he'd hope.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about this too, because this scene isn't over, or this sequence, I should say, isn't over yet.
Right.
It's still going. And we were commenting before we got on mic that this movie's under 2 hours.
Yes.
I mean, the economy in this movie is really something to be impressed by, I think.
And that's, I mean, that goes to sort of, we were having the conversation while talking through the at times interminable Godzilla 1998, where it's like, why does this movie need to be so long,
Yeah.
And you look at Speed, and I mean, just the title itself says, well, yeah, this needs to be efficient. It needs to move along, but it is like the exact right length. Howard Hawks used to say that how do you make a good movie? You have 3 great scenes and no bad scenes, right? And that's Speed. You've got 3 great scenes.
Yeah, this movie really does have 3 distinguishable set pieces.
Yes.
And scenes within those set pieces. But yeah, it's elevator, bus, train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too that Graham Yost, his original title for the movie was Minimum Speed.
Oh, yes. Are you going to say why?
Well, yeah, because the idea is that the bus can't go, below a certain amount, so your minimum speed. And I think his original conception was 20 miles an hour.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say.
And
yeah,
then they kicked it up to 50.
It couldn't go over 20 miles per hour, which would be a whole different.
Yeah, that would be very. And it's just funny that title is so obviously terrible.
Yeah.
Right, because and they realize when you put minimum in the title, that's like you're downgrading expectations.
I didn't even think about that.
Right, if you say like Keanu Reeves maximum speed, you're like, okay, Keanu Reeves minimum speed, like,
Right.
and you take away that first word, and now it's just speed, and you're like, that's genius.
I know, it's funny too, because I was just thinking as you were saying all these things, if this was a Baldwin brother movie,
Yes,
called Speed, would we think that's a dumb title?
that's a good point.
But since we like this movie and we know it's good, and we associate it with like this sort of crackling action, are we like, oh, Speed, that's a great title?
And I think that's actually a really important point that this movie was not on my radar before it came out. Like, I remember seeing like a making of segment on Entertainment Tonight, I think it was. And yeah, it would have to have been Entertainment Tonight because that other show wasn't around yet. And I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's just a thing with Keanu Reeves. It was not. It was only after it came out and the response was so rapturous that I was like, man, this is really good. But it certainly was not a movie that I was looking forward to heading into summer of '94.
Yeah, I think for me it was. I think I remember seeing the trailer and being like, that looks like right up my alley.
See, this was a time before I went to the theaters often. So I just
sure.
I didn't see trailers,
See, this was probably for me. This is one of my most memorable years, I think, for like a lot of reasons. But like going into high school and this and that. But also, look at that. All right, I'm going to bring this up a couple times. Look at that shot of Joe Morton right there.
Yep.
It's the lens choice. It's the depth of focus. I mean, this movie is shot by a photographer.
Yeah.
Right? And so the movie benefits
Look at the
from
canted
that.
angle here, by the way. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And this movie has like great lens flares in the third act, which, we've come to associate with Die Hard and all those things, but that was shot by this person.
Yes.
And now people, because they can create lens flares in a computer, they put them willy-nilly everywhere, which is what it is. I don't mind it. But I love the thoughtfulness of the lens flares. I'll get into that later. But
Yeah.
you get a little one right there. But it's usually used to heighten. It's to add tension. So anyway, I'm gonna probably geek out on a few shots and
That's good.
direction choices throughout this movie. This is such a funny conceit too. Shoot the hostage.
Right.
I love this.
I think
He's
Dennis,
like, this guy's crazy.
well, and Dennis Hopper is so good as the villain here.
Yes.
And he really, like, again, it's like I said, there was that whole Mad Bomber subgenre
Yes.
in the mid '90s, and you remember Tommy Lee Jones, I think, was in Blown Away.
Yes, and in Under Siege, playing kind of like a kind of villain.
Yeah, he was very not like, hey y'all,
Yeah, right.
y'all terrorists now, you're our prisoners. You stand over there. But the original plan was that Dennis Hopper was like the muscle, and the real villain was Harry.
Yes, which I found fascinating reading that.
Which is, in hindsight, you're like, well, that's terrible.
Yes, yeah, that'd be awful.
And I think part of it is because Jeff Daniels is just so damn likable that would be terrible. But also, like, once you got Dennis Hopper, you're done. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I guess Harry was. They were looking at Ed Harris.
Oh well, you do that, then yeah, it kind of makes.
Then you're like, oh yeah, he's the villain. Speaking of directors, apparently this movie went out to Rennie Harlan and Quentin Tarantino.
Interesting.
at that time. And Tarantino, when was Reservoir Dogs? Was that 92?
Reservoir Dogs was like 92 or 3. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. After that, then you're like, this guy's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him all the things. But Tarantino turned it down, but has since said that it's in his top 20 films since the 90s. So he's a big fan.
And actually, I mean, let's talk about that for a second, because it feels to me anyway like people don't really talk about this movie.
Yeah, I feel like if you ask people who've seen it if they like it, they go, "Oh yeah, Speed's great," but yeah, it never comes up.
But it was a real kind of zeitgeisty thing in the mid '90s.
Yes, referenced a lot for sure, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing that it just kind of fell off.
And I feel like everybody knows that it's about a bus that is going to blow up, but I think almost everybody, even if you hadn't seen it, knows it's stay above 50. Like
Yes.
the 50 thing, maybe it was because of trailers and commercials and whatnot, but I feel like that specific detail was something that got referenced a lot, or everybody was at least aware of.
Yes. And I'm looking at Keanu Reeves, and we make all the jokes about how he's a goddamn vampire or something. I'm not kidding. He looks exactly the same now as he did 25 years ago in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's blessed in the jeans department.
That's just clean living.
Oh, also looking at him, gazing upon him lovingly as your, I guess. His hair was kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah,
I guess
that's right.
Him and DeBont decided that this character would have an efficient haircut, so they gave him a buzz cut. And Fox was, they didn't tell Fox, and Fox was none too pleased.
Yeah, I mean, this is, his hair here is after it grew in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was basically shaved right to the scalp.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Just about, yeah. And so they were like, the studio folks had a shit fit.
Yeah.
Which, what's funny is on the one hand, we can kind of laugh at that, like, oh, what's the big deal? But you get it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. You're like, no, if people want to see Keanu Reeves, they want to see the guy that looks like this.
Yeah, right. And you picture kind of the Point Break hair, if nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm reminded of, like, a couple years later, you had that show Felicity.
Yes, right.
Where pretty
Gary
much
Russell.
everyone agrees the reason that show just collapsed in the ratings was, like, in the third year or whatever, Carrie Russell cut her hair.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is crazy, but I totally believe that kind of thing would be a factor in studios making these kinds of decisions.
Oh yeah. If you're a studio, you take all this data.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to go with your gut, but you also, I mean, there's a lot on the line. Your job's on the line. Millions of dollars are on the line. I kind of get it. I don't call it this place, by the way. This is a restaurant called the Firehouse in Venice, California, and it's right by my friend Alex's house. So sometimes we'll go there.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, when I was in there, I was like, why does this place look so familiar? She's like, oh, I was in Speed. I was like, what? You saved that for last? This is kind of, this is one shot, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Him, Jack leaving the restaurant, going to his car. We kind of cross the car, turn around, and then we see the bus. Boom!
That's one of those iconic shots, the bus blowing up right there.
Yep.
Now, I mean, this movie articulates a thing that I tell you all the time, that the best movies are the ones that ask you, what do you do? What do you do?
Yes.
Right? And I think that's the genius of not only the way, I mean, I don't want to dismiss Die Hard, because I think the first Die Hard does that very well.
Yes.
By now the Die Hard movies, John McClane is like, he's like Iron Man, basically.
He's
right?
like surfing airplanes. And...
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I mean, it really needs to be one of those things where the concept has just enough believability where you say, well, if I am in this situation, what do I do? Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the hook that you have to figure out to really get that bruised forearm effect, right? If you're like, that means the movie has got its claws in you.
Yeah. Yeah. And everything he does in this movie is something that you would like to think you could do. Like
Yes.
when he goes beneath the bus, right? And
Yes.
even hopping onto the bus. And,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it also helps that Keanu Reeves is not this behemoth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's certainly capable,
Yes.
right? He's a capable character, but yeah, he's someone that you'd like to think. I guess he's aspirational.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, the mid '90s was a very interesting era because the the Schwarzenegger Stallone tenure was basically over. So
Yes.
it's like it's pre, those superheroes and like the Avengers, and it's post those other superheroes like Schwarzenegger and Stallone. So you had this brief window of like everyman action heroes.
Yeah. I think they're due for a comeback.
Yeah, I mean I think that this whole conceit of put every man in a situation like this and just see what happens. I think that by itself is something that I don't know that there's a market for those types of movies anymore, not theatrically anyway.
I don't know. I mean, I think what works about this one is the concept.
Yeah, and I think that theater goers are past concept movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to believe that if someone could find a hook that hasn't happened yet that plugs into a large group of people's psyches, that people would be curious, like, well, kind of like what you said with the what would you do? Like if you this movie hadn't happened and that you introduce the concept of you get onto a bus and it can't drop below a certain speed or it'll blow up and and rush hour's just beginning.
Yeah.
I think there's enough for people to go, well, how do you get out of that?
Yeah.
I would like to think that a concept like that could still capture people's imaginations and not be relegated to the basement of Netflix. But
I mean, I genuinely wonder. I mean, Speed came out of nowhere, $30 million budget, and it made like
unbelievable.
This is nuts, right? And it made like 120 domestic. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know that would happen today.
I am not prepared or equipped with examples yet, but I feel like every now and then there is some sort of sleeper hit like that, and it's one of those things you can never predict. It's just something that happens at the right time.
Yeah,
and people all latch onto it, and you're like, oh, cool. And then people try to do it again, and it doesn't work. It's just sometimes there's this weird alchemy that just lightning in a bottle and at the right time.
Yeah, I mean nowadays, you have stuff like Get Out or A Quiet Place or something.
Sure, yeah, exactly those. A Quiet Place is a perfect example of that.
Yes, and Speed was that. I mean, it was a sleeper hit. I even though it came out in the middle of summer, I don't think they expected it to catch on the way that it did.
Yeah, I think I read something about Fox feeling that way, and it was in the test screenings.
Yes,
where people, I guess some guy said a story about people were leaving for the bathroom but walking backwards because they didn't want to miss what was on screen, and they're like, "Oh crap, we might have a hit here.
We might have something." And by the way, there's Alan Ruck.
Yes,
as
Cameron.
Right. So we did Godzilla 2 weeks ago with Matthew Broderick. So, we our next commentary has to have Sloane in it, basically.
Yes.
Oh
no! I mean, how have we not mentioned Sandra Bullock yet?
Sandra Bullock is so gorgeous in this movie. Oh my goodness.
She is a star.
Yes.
She is a star in this movie, and this was her breakout.
Yeah, she was in Demolition Man like the year before.
Yes.
It was the first time I saw her. She had also been a couple of years earlier in like a $6 Million Man spinoff.
On television?
Yeah, it was like a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
And she would have been like the new Bionic Woman.
Oh, interesting.
So she'd been kicking around for a while. But, I mean, impact crater. She is in this movie. She is an instant star, and she has never stopped being a star in the 25 years since.
Yeah.
Which is honestly doubly impressive when you consider the fact that actresses have a much shorter half-life in the Hollywood ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of, I mean, she has it all in this movie. I mean, like you said, she's beautiful and she's super spunky and funny, and she's also she's a badass. Like, you believe that she can take over this bus. Like, this was like the perfect showcase for an actress. You know, and they're lucky they found someone that really made a meal out of it, and like you said, it's never stopped for her since.
It's never stopped. They originally offered it to Halle Berry.
Which I can picture. I can picture.
I can see that.
It's different, but yeah.
So she turned it down, and she did Executive Decision instead a couple years later. And
Yeah, right.
and then they wanted Ellen DeGeneres. Did you know that?
I read that, and again, I can picture that movie where it's like supposed to be funny. It's just a strictly funny person behind the wheel, like cracking jokes the whole movie.
Yeah. And then they went in a completely different direction. So
Yeah.
you talk about alchemy. I mean, the chemistry is real. I mean, I think between the two of them,
Oh, totally.
that's a big part of it. And I like the fact that we see their relationship grow in an organic way, in the sense that it feels believable in the context of what's happening.
Yes. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Right?
And he never feels like, sometimes movies fail when they try to introduce a romantic element, and you're like, dude, focus on the task at hand.
Yes,
man.
exactly.
And then you get annoyed, but it never. This script is brilliant, I for what we're talking about right now. And also, I was just thinking, there was like an era also where there were movies that took place during one day, or they took place during a couple hours.
Yeah.
And those movies always have this natural lull because they have to.
Yes.
Just by definition of the time span of the film. But this movie is so brilliant at figuring out how to make every aspect of what's going to happen in the next hour feel vital. Like, first of all, there's a bomb on a bus. Then you got to find the bus. So you got him weaving through 405 traffic here, which is like kind of like an action thing. Then it's like, okay, well, they won't let me on the bus. So he's got to commandeer a car. And this is a great little sequence.
Yes.
And then you get this funny LA-ish kind of guy, right? Who's like this good comic relief, And then eventually when, he takes the car and like, I got to get on that bus. Yeah, you get on that bus. Get out of my car. And then there's like a wonderful stunt here where he jumps on the bus, which is cool. But then you also have that car go up the tow truck ramp.
Yep.
And it's filmed it's such an awesome stunt. And now we're on the bus, and then we have all the bus problems. Like, I mean, there's just never a moment that isn't milked within an inch of its life. I can imagine the earlier drafts where you're like, yeah, but what can we do here? How can we milk this? And there's no moment here that is unmilked.
There you go. They should put that on the poster.
No moment unmilked. Brian Hall.
And you were talking about the script. Worth giving a huge shout out to Joss Whedon.
Yes.
Who, Graham Yost has said this. Graham Yost, by the way, I mean, he went on to create Justified, the TV series, Boomtown, which is friggin' amazing.
Yep.
Which, folks, if you haven't seen Boomtown, seek it out. It's awesome. But Graham Yost has said that basically 99% of the dialogue in the movie is Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Which I was going to point that out earlier when the when the elevator, you think it's going to fall, but they create that little trap so it won't. And then you have the cops expecting it to hit, and then it doesn't. And it's like, usually they fall down now. Like, it just feels like such a Whedon.
That's so Whedon. It's funny because I was explaining this to my wife as we were watching. I was like, yeah, the dialogue is all Joss Whedon. And she's like, why isn't he credited? And, I was explaining to her that, well, number one, he's a script doctor, so he's not even expected to be. But also the way that the WGA works is you credit tends to land with the person who came up with the structure rather than the script.
Yeah.
Right? And that's basically, I mean, you would know this stuff better than I would.
No, you can go to arbitration and they will go through drafts and pick apart percentages of who contributed what. And I think you're right. A lot of it comes down to structure.
And that's and so I think both of these guys are due an extraordinary amount of credit because big picture, Graham Yost came up with the whole the machine work of this movie, right? Mm-hmm. And yet it's the dialogue that adds the crackle.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're talking about the people in the elevator and how, just the idea of them being actual people. They're not functionaries. They're not pawns. And I think that's really important that by the time we are fully into the bus sequence, we have an investment in each of these characters. Mm-hmm. We feel a sense of like, oh, they got off, thank God. Oh, that guy got off, thank God. Oh, no,
mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important.
Yep. Yeah, you get on that bus. I've said that like 5 times. I actually do really love. This is a movie, by the way. When it's on, this whole thing when he jumps on and then the car goes up the tow truck thing, it is captured in such a frantic, exhilarating way. Even that, like like coming up with this idea, like, okay, then he jumps on. It's like, no. He's got to figure out how to get the door off. So let's have him like, open the door, go up, slam on the brakes, knock the door off this guy's car. Like, they squeezed all the juice they could out of this scenario. But anyway, so when this thing goes up the tow truck ramp, I've actually rewound this several times because I've wanted to study the editing and the photography and figure out, like, how did they make me feel the thrill of this moment? Because it's captured in such an interesting way, and it's a combination of two cameras and just knowing when to cut and knowing where to place those cameras, and it really sizzles.
It's deceptive how well the movie works its mojo.
Yeah.
The fact that you rewound it several times tells you something. That first time through, you're not even paying attention on that level.
Yeah. Yes, you're just feeling. By the way, I realize I'm talking about a moment that comes later. I thought it was this part, but it's later on the bus. But yeah, here he just went into those bumpers, like those big yellow bumpers with exits so people don't crash into...
The barrels that have water in them.
Which, by the way, I learned they had water in them from this movie.
So that actor who was in the Jaguar that Keanu Reeves... I'm just going to call him Keanu. I'm not going to call him Jack. He's Keanu.
Sure.
But that actor, Glenn Plummer, reappears in the sequel to this movie.
Oh, really? I've never seen the sequel.
The sequel is extraordinary for how it gets wrong everything that this movie got right.
Oh. Different. Well, same director, too,
Same
isn't
director,
it?
Jan de Bont. I mean, arguably... He killed his directing career he built his directing career on this, and he killed it with the sequel.
Interesting.
Because after Jan de Bont, I mean, he did Speed, he did Twister. He was going to do Godzilla 98, by the way. Mm-hmm. He did Twister instead, which was another huge hit. And then after that, he does Speed 2. Now, I remember when Keanu Reeves turned down Speed 2. Because why? He wanted to tour with his band Dogstar.
That's so punk rock.
That right. And I remember how much people were shitting all over him for that. I remember it distinctly. And then the movie comes out, and it's just a huge turd sandwich. And everyone's like, that Keanu, he had the right idea. And nobody thought that before the movie. They replaced Keanu Reeves with Jason Patrick.
Right.
And it's just terrible. I mean, it's amazing how badly that movie does everything wrong,
Oh, I'll have to check it out as a curiosity.
Yeah,
I want to call it this part, by the way, too. Just, this is a really interesting way. How do you get Sandra Bullock to drive the bus?
Yes.
And originally it was going to be the driver has a heart attack. And you're like, okay, yeah, I can see the version of that.
Yes.
But good screenwriting, it's like, what can we do even more that feels like organic to the situation? What causes this? Right? Just a heart attack is like something that happens and it's convenient.
Not just that, Brian. It also does what good screenwriting should do, which is it gives us a window into our lead character in terms of how he handles this guy with the gun.
Yes. So, I mean, for people who aren't watching along, I mean, we have Jack as a cop Keanu come on the bus and say that he's a cop, and there's someone who is a criminal and thinks on the bus and thinks that he's after them. And so he gets up and guns are raised and Keanu just tries to talk him down. Like, I don't care about your crime.
Yeah.
And, a tussle ensues, gunfire goes off, and we shoot the shoulder of the bus driver. So now we need someone to take over, and Sandra Bullock's the plucky person to do that.
That's right.
It's great.
And this is their meet cute right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, so in terms of putting this movie in context of history and what was going on in the world, this came out 1 week before O.J. Simpson himself was driving down the 405.
Wow.
And, he wasn't driving. He was a passenger in the white Bronco.
Well, you'll also be happy to know that this is the most random thing, but as you said that about O.J. Simpson, I'm on Twitter right now, and what came up in my feed but a tweet by O.J. Simpson, who's now on Twitter. So
what?
Yeah, O.J. Simpson is on Twitter, and somebody's like, "Hey, O.J., happy anniversary, 25 years since you killed Nicole and Ron." And he responded, "Want to hear some crazy shit? Court system disagrees." And I'm
he
like...
should probably get off Twitter.
I was like, this is what social evolution has brought us to. It's brought us to that moment right there.
That is kind of crazy because that's I mean, this wasn't a discussion I was thinking about having, but OJ was one of the hugest news stories in the world.
Yes.
Probably one of the biggest ones we remember at an early age, right?
Yes.
And who would have thought all these years later, through something like Twitter, you could say that to OJ,
Yeah.
right? And you could have OJ respond. Like, what a different world. Right?
We are living in the worst timeline, Brian. So having Harry, Harry is the man in the chair,
Yes.
right? And I think it's very important that again, the movie is just like dripping with foreshadowing, where he's like, in that celebration, he's like, I'm not going to be around forever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, ding, like,
Yeah, right.
it's, if you know it's coming, then you're like, oh, it's so obvious. But even if you don't, it's fairly obvious that, again, he's part of that cadre of likable doomed partners.
Yep. And he sells it well. I every time I watch this, it's like when you watch Titanic and you're hoping the ship won't sink this
Right.
time. When he goes in that house, I'm like, I don't want to lose
Don't
him.
go in the
Even though I've
house.
seen this movie a million times.
Right. I also think it's interesting that Alan Ruck's character was so completely changed, because originally he was supposed to be like a douchebag lawyer who's like a bad guy and ends up getting killed.
I was just going to bring that up in this moment.
Oh, well,
Because he's such a lovable sort of doofus.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no one on the bus you dislike, really.
I think that's important, right? Because it really needs the drama on the bus needs to be realistic to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of somebody being like a William Zabka type character, no slight on William Zabka, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
It's funny,
make
by the way, when she yells at him through the microphone.
right.
What do I do? Hey! Mike. Excuse me. I have a little cough, by the way, so I'm sorry that I'm coughing into Mike
God
occasionally.
damn it.
I'm trying to block it out as much as I can.
Damn it, Brian.
But here it is. The moment with the car.
There
Watch
it
this.
is.
Watch this. Fink, funk, boom. So good. But yes, apparently
Today's Foley will be performed by Brian Hall.
do we get more water splash here?
No. Oh, yeah, we do.
Quasha!
What am I saying?
Just confirming. There is water in
There's
those
lots of
barrels.
water in those things.
This is great though. But I mean, yeah, this is what I came to see. Like, well, how do you do this with a bus? Like, if there's all this traffic and we want to see it narrowly getting past all these things, and because they don't have the aid of CGI, they have to visually show us something somewhat conceivable because they actually have to pull it off.
It's we tend to, this is like our thing. We tend to shit on CGI a lot on this
Yeah.
show. And I do think
Yes, go on. No, just kidding.
you're like, that's true. I think that's unfair to the extent that there are a lot of like CGI touches that we're not even aware of, in movies.
Yes, because we don't even know exactly.
Because we don't know. Yeah. So I don't want to sound like I'm denigrating the hard work that CGI artists do. And I say this very specifically
yeah.
because my friend Tim Hansen, who listens to this show, is a CGI artist. And Tim, you're doing the Lord's work. However,
Actually, no, I 100% agree. Because then when you watch a movie do it well, yeah, then you don't think about it,
yes.
and
so,
that's them doing such a good job that they're not getting the pats on the back they deserve.
yes. So the point that I really want to emphasize when we talk about CGI is the overuse of that the ability to just dream up whatever you want. And I think
Yes.
we say this all the time. Limitations are one of the best things that you have in your toolkit when you're coming up with a story that you're trying to get people to really invest emotionally in. Mm-hmm. And going
You
back
have
to
to be able to put yourself in the scenario.
yeah, I mean, the thing that we were talking about Skyscraper earlier. Even that scene, which was arguably the best scene in a not great movie. Even that, there's a part of you watching The Rock like climbing the outside of his building. You're like, well, that's not real. And we know it. And I think this is something that, for example, Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise have really figured out with these Mission Impossible movies. What is their hook? The idea that, well, you're not watching a bunch of CGI.
Right.
You know?
By the way, I want to call it the scene that we just past, where Harry is bouncing off ideas with this other cop because they have some clues now about who this bomber could be. And this scene always makes my brother and I laugh because she feels like she doesn't know at all what she's talking about. Because he's like, a watch is a shitty timer. Why use it? She's like, come on, Harry. Lots of people wear watches. And then he's just like, well, yeah, but this guy, it seems the things he's using, he seems like an expert. And she's like, yeah, he's like an encyclopedia of bombs. He knows every kind. I was like, that's actually probably the only bad dialogue in this movie. I feel it's not her fault. It's just.
Oh, this bit right here with the carriage.
Oh, this is such a good gag, isn't it?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even again. I told you, my wife just like ripped a hole in my arm.
Yes, it's such a perfect. Again, thinking of every scenario you can with a runaway thing in a street. It's like, well, someone in the road who can't move, and in this case, it's someone with a baby carriage, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and they do a nice job of setting it up.
Yes. Oh, that's good editing, by the way.
And I love her. I love how Sandra Bullock plays it.
Yes.
Right?
I think Keanu, too. Cans. Just cans. That's great.
It's great tension and release.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, what a nightmare this movie must have been to shoot. Just going around. This is all on location around Los Angeles, just having to set up all this traffic. I think I read somewhere too that DeBont was like, "Oh man, you have to reset, and all the cars have to go back." And
yeah, I was trying to explain to my kids like earlier when they're on the freeway. He was like, "Well, he assumed that like all the traffic was real." And I'm
okay. I can see why he would feel that. Yeah,
right. And I'm like, no. I mean, you have to, I'm explaining how this stuff is made. I'm like, you have to block off the freeway. Those are all actors. Everybody, And he's like, wow. I'm like, this is fun. I'm glad I get to explain this stuff to them.
Yeah, a lot of work.
The kids were. Can I just tell you, they were hooked. I mean, it was so fun experiencing it through them.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I'm glad we're doing this commentary. If we can get anyone who hasn't seen it to watch it or people to revisit it, I think it deserves the love.
It is absolutely one of those movies that people like. It's just not something I think that people watch often.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
We had a VHS of it, so I think maybe that's why. Like, it was just one of those things that we in our household.
I think that a VHS copy of Speed was a mainstay in many houses in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wait, can I call it? I want to call it one of my favorite shots here, and it is so minor, but it's such a perfect camera position to sell the realism and the intensity of what's happening. They have this dead end here, and they have to turn. Not dead end, I'm sorry, but they have to do a hard right. Now watch when they do this close shot of the bus, and two motorcycles zip in front of the bus. So as it's tipping here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
What? Bam, bam. And then the camera pans up, and that is good action directing. It makes what could otherwise be a somewhat lumbering moment have all this like snap to it.
And I mean that's an important thing, right? Being an action director, and I think this, Jan de Bont would like do all this stuff himself. Like he wasn't big on second unit and stuff, and I think because he just had an eye for it.
Yeah,
that's important because that's a specific skill set, being able to direct action.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Like here's my point. I don't think Christopher Nolan could have made this movie.
Oh, entirely agree.
Right?
He's into like bombastic sorts of things, and he's brilliant at it. But this is like a zippy, edge of your seat. Like, what'd you call it? Bruised forearm?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And that's, it's a different skill set.
And I think that's it's when we look at the pieces, right? You say movie alchemy, right? And it's deceptive, all the stuff that's at work, right? Everything just had to fit a certain way. You needed to have Keanu Reeves for this movie to work this way. You needed Sandra Bullock. You needed this script. You need, all that stuff. And you can see, if you remove one thread, it risks unraveling all of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And even here now we get a nice little, we get to come down for a little bit, right? Because now they found like an open freeway that's under construction, and we get a little moment of natural interaction between Keanu and Annie.
And that's
I'm gonna call him Keanu.
I think that's an important thing because especially in movies like this, you can have a situation where you have the male and female leads, and movie math says, oh well, they have to end up together, and it feels very forced. I think with these guys, you're kind of like, as you're watching, you're like, hey, I hope they end up together.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Now they've done other movies together, right? Didn't they do? What were they in together after this?
Was that a romantic thing?
Yes. Was it
Shoot, what was
the house, the something house?
Oh, is that
Right?
the one with the letters?
The
Is
letters.
that them? Where it's like a mailbox where you can put a letter and it goes through time or something.
Yeah.
The lake house?
The lake house. There you go. I think that's the only thing they've done together after this.
Yeah. Okay.
The lake
That
house.
feels right. Yeah. Excuse me. What was I going to call? Oh, I guess I could bring it up later, but because we were talking about Alan Ruck's character, did we mention this? We may have in my brain. I'm brain farting already. But he was originally the character that was going to die.
Okay,
that
trying to get off.
Yeah, but then they decided to soften him up and they gave it to that woman instead, which is still a good. Well, I didn't even think it's very Whedon-y. But to kill someone just to make you go, oh shoot, like people could really die in this situation.
Yeah.
Like we're not just going to get everybody off. That's what we're setting up right here, right?
Yeah.
Where he's got they've got the truck that they just pulled up alongside the bus now that they're on the 105 freeway.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can possibly understand each other, by the way. I mean, you know what I mean? That to me is the most unrealistic part of this movie. There's no way that you're going at those speeds. You're going 50 miles an hour. You do not understand each other. There's no way.
Dude, there was I think it was the TV show Barry recently did something like this, where someone was trying to address a group of adversaries, and he was exiting a building, coming downstairs, and they were halfway down the street. And he goes, well, we can make a deal, kind of a thing. But then it cuts to the people down the street, and they can't hear him at all. But he's gesturing like he's making this grand pronouncement. And you're like, oh yeah, they probably wouldn't be able to hear him.
There is. Look at that. You're again 50 miles an hour, two vehicles, and you're yelling at each other in the wind. There's just no way.
That's hilarious.
It would be like, what? That's all it would be.
Yeah, but this is a fun little hiccup for them here, where you have the media,
Yeah,
right? Like now they know if they're up to any funny business, trying to get these people off. But then later we'll realize that even getting rid of the media isn't enough.
Yeah, and of course the little thing that they come up with is a clever use of mid '90s technology.
Yeah. And it's pretty funny too. I mean, jumping ahead a bit, but now that they're on the 105 freeway, which at the time when they were filming this was a new freeway and hadn't been opened yet. So I mean, what a godsend for these filmmakers to have this open freeway, and even to work that into the plot. I mean, they could have populated it with cars, but why?
Right.
We already did the cars in our way thing. Let's do some other stuff. And then in real life, when I moved out here, I realized that the 105 freeway actually goes to LAX, just like it does in the movie. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I think
so. It's kind of a natural, real life LA sort of scenario where it's like, oh, they would see the airport and go, that's a good idea. Let's go circle on a runway.
And the fact that, again, this is like a little thing, but Jack is doing what is expected of him. He's not the rogue,
Yes.
Like,
Good point.
I think that's a really important thing. Is like we're seeing a guy who is our hero, and he's again, it's what I said earlier, right? He's earnest insofar as this is a situation, we have to figure this out. So you go through it methodically. He doesn't have a hair trigger, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. If nothing else, because it sets it apart from so many of these movies during this era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. When you look at Die Hard clones, there's a few, right? This is obviously the top of the heap. What are some of the good ones?
Well, obviously this. I would say, if we weren't talking about this movie, I would say this one. But I don't know. By the way, real quick, we'll call out Spark of Motion right here. The woman from Donnie Darko.
Oh.
I can't stay, Annie.
I think it's smart to make her the victim rather than like a douchebag,
Like a
lawyer.
jerk.
Yeah,
I agree.
because it needs to be a moment where you're like, oh my god, not oh good.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's not fussy. Like, no,
Yes.
get out of my way. I'm getting off. I mean, she's just lost it. Like, it's too much
scared.
for her.
She's the
scared,
woman.
yeah.
She's the woman from the elevator in the beginning.
Yes. So you sort of get where she's coming from, even though you're frustrated with her.
Yes, exactly. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
See, to me, we were talking about Die Hard clones. To me, I look at like Under Siege,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, great Tommy Lee Jones performance, great direction by Andrew Davis. Unfortunately, it's got Steven Seagal right at the middle, so it's right. So, like, it's good despite Steven Seagal, you know.
Right.
And then
Just
I
a chef.
mentioned Cliffhanger, and that's like those are the only ones I can really think of off the top of my head that are like
I gotta watch that.
Cliffhanger. You would like Cliffhanger.
I'm certain I would. I don't know why I've never seen it.
Yeah, and that's speaking of Rennie Harlan. You know that was Rennie Harlan.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so when this movie was turning 20, so I guess 5 years ago, they did Uprocks Media did an interview with all the passengers on the bus
Oh,
about
that's
their
fun.
experiences. And I mean, it's not like huge insights are gleaned, but it is kind of funny to hear them all collectively remember the same sorts of things, you know, and just it seemed like sort of a summer camp experience for them. 'Cause, I mean, some of them don't even have speaking roles, but obviously by nature of the film, they all have to be the same people every day. So they formed this kind of bond.
So I mean, other than Alan Ruck, who was pretty well known even back then, none of the others really, like, I don't know them from anything else.
No, I don't either. And some of them, I think the woman with the cat eye glasses, if I remember correctly from that interview, her saying, "Yeah, this was a period in my life when I wanted to try acting."
Okay,
You know, and so she looks back on it fondly. So it's
Well,
kind of,
I mean,
I'm sure that's several of their stories.
it's not a bad movie to be affiliated
Yeah.
with, right?
Yeah, and I mean, your face, I could probably pick a lot of these people out of a lineup. You know, you got kind of the 90s cool guy on there too, you know, with the earring and the kind of grunge hair.
The floppy hair, yeah.
Yeah. After the jump, he's like, "We are way out of control." Which is what everybody was saying in the 90s.
It's true. The 90s was a magical time. It's funny because you talk about 90s. Keanu Reeves is dressed in like the most. That is like a mid-90s uniform. Right? I mean, I don't see people dressed like that, you know, with the kind of the oversized shirt that's open and the, you know, that doesn't feel like the way people dress today.
By the way, so I was at my parents' house visiting, and I saw an old Foo Fighters bootleg t-shirt I bought at a concert when I was 15 or something. And I thought, oh, cool, I would still wear this. So I put it on, and it was enormous. And I was like, what was I thinking? Like, why was I wearing a shirt? And I was like half the size I am right now. I was a skinny kid in the 90s. Like, what was I doing wearing a shirt so large? It was
You're
like crazy.
swimming in it.
And then I saw a picture on Instagram of something of Steven Spielberg directing Jurassic Park, and he was wearing an enormous T-shirt, like just, I mean, draped on him. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, the 90s, man. I guess that's just what we were doing.
That's what, you know. What's funny is I used to have my hair like Keanu Reeves in this movie. I had it cut very, very short, and that's funny now because now my hair is like ridiculously long. I'm a man of multitudes, as I say. But I'm sure I had it somewhere in my head. I was like, well, Keanu Reeves made it work,
Right, sure,
so
yeah.
I'm sure it'll work for me too. The
That's
math
funny.
did not check out.
I'm sure it looked great.
Oh, shucks, thank you.
There's a gap in the road up ahead. It's big. This is genius too. Apparently, this wasn't in the script. I mean, I always wonder too. By the way, I mean, you read these things, and I don't know how much is people misremembering, but this is like the set piece of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. This is on the poster, if I'm not mistaken, in every
Yep.
trailer. But apparently,
You're
Jan
talking
de
about the
Bont-
bus jumping the gap.
I'm sorry. Yes, the bus jumping the gap. There's a gap in the unfinished freeway up ahead, and so Jan de Bont apparently saw a gap in the freeway because it wasn't finished, and thought, well, that'd be a good obstacle in the movie. So they incorporated it, and it's one of those things too where, I mean, getting ahead of it, it's also something that's ridiculous. It's preposterous that this bus would do this, right? I mean, the way that
Yes.
you even see it kind of cock up as it goes over. I mean, obviously there has to be a ramp causing the bus to do that in real life. But at the same time, the way that they shoot it and they edit it, and the fact that we don't have that weird CGI floaty physics going on, you're like, whoa!
Yes.
You know, like it's a cool looking stunt.
It is, and I mean, I think there's an inherent believability problem with the idea of the bus doing that, and so the fact that for the most part you roll with it
Uh-huh.
says something about the world that they've set up to this moment.
Yeah, and there are celebrations afterwards. You're like, oh, well, you're just happy to see these people we've come to know
I think
experience this thing, and you feel the relief. You exhale with them.
yes, and I think with that in mind, I think every movie gives you like one big buy, like you'll give it a buy once, and that's Speed, like that's the bus is it. It's just in that realm of believability where we're like, well, that probably wouldn't work, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I mean, there's something though when you have the practical. Those birds are digital, by the way.
There you go.
I think I don't the Gap. I can't remember if the Gap was digital as well, or if it was they enhanced or something. But yeah, adding the birds just to be like, no, seriously, they're birds flying through the Gap. They added those later. But yeah, just something about seeing, because they really did jump the bus,
Yes.
and I guess they did it twice because the first time it looked too smooth. It looked it went too well, so they had to make something look a little more harrowing, and they did it a second time. But it's a cool looking stunt.
It works, and I think that the inherent believability of knowing that while we're watching a thing that they actually did is what lets you buy into it.
Okay, yeah, reading it here, yeah, it says that Gap was added digitally.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, maybe in some shots, I don't know. Seems weird.
Now
I'm like slowing down because I just want to watch it.
I know. It's,
I kind of want to.
what's gonna happen?
I just want to see how it looks. Really, here we go.
Look at that. That's nuts. The bus. The bus.
I like
is
that
flying.
shot right there, where it's like,
where it goes over the camera.
yeah, and the camera's like just barely keeping it in frame,
Yeah.
sort of making us feel like.
So I mean, here's my question: a sequence like this, how much do you storyboard it, and how much do you just sort of set it up and say, well, let's capture whatever we can capture?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, like I would love to look at Speed storyboards to see how fully does the movie that we got evoke what they intended. You know.
Yeah, because I'm certain in these sorts of things with stunts, and you have happy accidents, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We made it. It's a nice moment. He's a good
Yeah.
guy. You know? Good guy. Good guy,
yeah,
Keanu.
I think it's you know, again, people have given Keanu Reeves crap for being a bad actor or whatever, and my pushback on that is always he knows his skill set. And he's smart about staying within a certain range.
Right.
You know, and I think
Where he thrives, yeah.
Right. I think that Jack Traven is a Keanu Reeves character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't think it's too far of a walk to go from Jack to John Wick.
Sure.
Because
John Wick is Jack pushed too many times 20 years later.
That's exactly right. Exactly. You know?
What a natural way to screw up those tires.
Yeah,
I forgot
right.
about that detail. They went through like a security gate, and you have those little prongs or the grill or whatever, that sharp grill that comes up as a security measure, and it just hacked the tires.
Yep.
So we're going to lose those tires.
That's the thing. I mean, you have to escalate the tension in a way that feels organic, and the smart thing they do is that the tire thing they've already planted. Okay, this is a thing, and then it doesn't come into play until later.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, it's like, oh, and now we're losing gas, and now and just like you're escalating the tension in a way where what you're trying to do is stretch out the bus sequence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it is the centerpiece of the movie. So with each thing that happens, it's like how do we prolong this without making it seem like we're prolonging it?
Yes. Which, yeah, like we were saying, is just this thing that happens when you have these movies that try to take place within a time frame. I think of a movie like remember Phone Booth?
Yeah.
Colin
exactly.
Farrell and
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland, Forrest Whitaker, I think.
Didn't Joel Schumacher do that?
Yeah. And it's a cool conceit because there's something inherently interesting about being stuck in a moment with people, but those movies have their inevitable drag. You know, and I think this movie figured out how to eliminate that, or at least to fill every moment with something. And it's whether it's character moments where we get the nice slowdown moments. I've never really thought about it. I usually just watch this movie and enjoy it, but now I'm sort of thinking about it, thinking through it, and noticing like, okay, now here's our slowdown moment. But they always feel natural.
Yeah, and
Like the relief after the jump, for
Yes,
example.
yeah,
And then he has this fun little, you know, like, you missed your calling, should have been a pilot. You know, he's kind of having fun with her. Oh, and by the way, so this airport thing where they're circling, which is obviously a great idea. Apparently, the original idea was to have it at Dodger Stadium, but they couldn't get that.
yeah, it would have
afford it or
just
something.
been going in a circle.
Yeah. And then I think they had problems getting the stadium, but I think this works out well because then you have a more spectacular ending to the bus.
Yeah, and when you think about it, I mean, because we're sort of in the wind down of the bus sequence. That normally would be the end of the movie.
Yes, and apparently, because there's a whole. I mean, we're not even in the third act. And the third act, like we said, is a train sequence, and apparently Graham Yost, his original draft was all bus.
Yes.
And when he was talking with Paramount, they said
all
too much bus.
No elevator at the beginning either.
Yeah. And this is, and it's funny because those other moments are just as exciting, or not maybe just as exciting, but I don't feel like they're less than. I think they find good ways to make us enjoy each of those sequences and not yearn to get to the bus. But when you think about this movie, you probably only think about the bus,
That's right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think most people forget that there's a whole third act thing.
Yeah. By the way, Keanu hanging on. I'm going to do a stupid name droppy, sorry. So with Keanu, he hopped off the bus and climbed onto that SUV, and he's standing on the foot step, whatever, outside the SUV. So when I was a PA, I was doing a movie that starred Eric Bana, and they're like, Eric Bana is coming from Australia, and he's going to go live in this housing complex, and why don't you go over there and show him around? And I was like, I don't know the complex. I mean, what am I going to do? Walk into the bathroom and be like, here's your bathroom? Like, I don't, you know, but they're like, just go do it. So I went over there and I had to meet him, and he was in an SUV with, you know, some handler and his whole family. And I was like, okay, can I get in? And they're like, well, there's no room. So like, well, why don't you hop on? And so I did a total Keanu on the outside the SUV thing, and I was hanging on to the SUV, and we drove down this ramp into a parking lot. And Bana's kids were like, can we do that? Can we ride the car? And he's like, no, only Brian can do that.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
The movie was
that
Lucky
was
You,
it.
I think, right?
Lucky You?
See
Yeah,
that?
Curtis Hanson film.
The late great
Late
Curtis
great.
Hanson.
Yep.
Now
Now we got a whole new, we still haven't lost the bus, and we got a whole new set piece here. Let's go under the bus.
see, so I was mentioning the sequel earlier, and I think you see in the contrasts all the ways that Speed really was lightning in a bottle. Mm-hmm. Because first of all, the sequel that was Jan de Bont's idea, and he's like, it should be on a cruise ship, and it's like, yeah, but cruise ships don't go fast. Like,
Right.
there's a problem right there, right? And Graham Yost wasn't involved in the sequel at all, and you know, just the mechanics of like this is what sets Speed apart from like the Die Hard movies, because Speed is really concept first, and then characters interacting with concept, and Die Hard became, you know, it's the adventures of John McClane. Mm-hmm. And I think even if Keanu Reeves had been in Speed 2, it wouldn't have been as effective.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, this is just the perfect scenario for this, whatever you want to call it. Like what we showed up for, we got the best version of it.
Yeah.
And you show up to something else, I mean, it's not the same thing. It's not what we came for.
Yes. You know what's funny though is I was talking about Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert loved Speed 2.
Interesting.
So he's like the one guy.
I would be very curious to read why.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what the chief complaint necessarily would be, but
yeah, I don't know what Gene Siskel thought, but I know Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs up. And yet I'm fairly certain, Brian, that there is no bigger gulf in terms of like Rotten Tomatoes scores between a first movie and a second movie.
well, what are they for this? I don't know.
Speed is like in the 90%.
Yeah.
Right. And Speed 2 is like in the single digits.
Single? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So it's I mean and that's not an entirely fair metric because so much of Rotten Tomatoes is like retrospective, you know.
Sure. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
As opposed to contemporaneous reviews. But like Speed, the first one sits at 94%, and I'm just pulling up Speed 2 now, and yeah, 4%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a rather steep drop off, and the truth is, it was DOA as soon as it was released. It was summer of '97. People just didn't even show up for it.
It just yeah.
You know, and I mean, not to crap on Jason Patric, but like if people want to call Keanu Reeves wooden. You know, the Jason Patric's role in the sequel, it's not even his fault, makes Keanu look like Olivier, you know?
Well, excuse me, were they... so that would probably have Sandra Bullock as number one on the call sheet, I'd imagine.
Sandra Bullock is the lead,
yeah.
and the idea is that she's broken up with Jack. That's the other thing. Like, we don't want that.
Yes, exactly. That's never what we want.
Right? It's like, no, that's the problem is that, well, no, Jason Patric. You're the guy who replaced the guy we like, which is...
That we like, yep.
So weird. Like, if you're 20th Century Fox, why would you not wait for Keanu... Like, why would you not wait to have a script that Keanu Reeves wants to be involved with?
Yeah.
What is the ego that would make you think that, oh, it's that title that people will show up for?
Exactly. It was the go-go 90s. This is awesome. I love this. Whoa!
See right there. He's got to save his life.
Yep.
But he ends up doing a thing that now they're losing gas.
Yep. And they got that well, and the tire blows because of the thing earlier. And I love they really sell how rickety that cart is under this monster vehicle that has no mercy for you beneath it. I love this.
And look at how all the characters are like invested in saving Jack. You know, I mean, I think there's something to be said about the idea of just, and I think this is a big part of the appeal, is like there's an inherent decency that people have.
That's a good. I'm noticing that in movies that is something that makes things. A lot of the movies that last seem to lean into that sort of thing, like optimism.
Yeah, right.
You know, and the way we want people to be.
Yeah, the underlying assumption that given a difficult situation, people's better angels will emerge and they'll come together. I mean, maybe that's naive because people tend to be shitty. Like I'm very like bipolar about just humanity in general, Brian. Because there are days where I'm like, gosh darn it, we'll all tough it out. We'll get through this together. And then I'm like, F all y'all, you suck. You know?
No, I agree. And I also mean, I don't mean that every movie should have that. Because some movies, like Godfather, I mean, you got to have the light and the dark. But in a movie like this of people working together, you could imagine throwing in a couple jerks because you could get some good jokes out of it.
Yes.
But that's just not what, I don't, you know what I mean?
It feels like artificial tension.
Yeah.
And I think in this case, the scenario itself is such where you're already invested.
Yep. That is very gross, Ortiz.
Big round hairy cojones, which is my band back in high school. Big round hairy.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you know in high school I was in a band called Screaming Monkey Boner?
I don't even know if you're joking.
I'm actually not joking.
Really?
Played 2 gigs. They both went terribly.
I'm I'm shocked. I tell you, shocked.
Yeah.
It feels like a tragedy that the name Screaming Monkey Boner is now lost to the ages. Like,
Yeah. Then we've played someone's house. The parents would be like, "What's your band name?" We're like, SMB.
oh, Super Mario Brothers. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Super Mario.
Worth mentioning, by the way, Dennis Hopper was in Super Mario Brothers the year before this came out.
Oh, it was before this, huh?
Yeah, as Koopa.
No, we're losing fuel. So did Sandra Bullock do The Net right after this? Because I remember,
Yeah,
I remember
Like,
seeing that. I don't
right
know if that
after.
was a hit. Was that a hit?
it was a hit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she. It's like I said, she like instantly became a bankable star.
Yeah.
And even Speed 2, like she escaped blame for that one almost entirely.
Just because we love her. We love Sandy.
SB, as we call her. and now we're
Sandy
about
B.
Sandy B. There you go. We're about to bid adieu to Jeff Daniels in this movie.
There's some good sound design going on in this scene, by the way.
Yes.
Like it sounds like a neighborhood. I feel like I remember you hear. I mean, obviously you hear birds, but I think there's like a lawnmower, and you just see this SWAT team descending on this suburban-looking house.
And
by the way, for the producers,
it's
go ahead.
gonna go. You know it's gonna go.
Yeah, you know
south.
it's gonna go south. He's got a good expression on his face too. By the way, when he sees the trigger go off, and
Totally.
he's just like,
Yeah.
well,
Like,
geez.
what do you do in that moment, right? Like
I know.
What goes through your head other than concrete?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Right.
Yeah, the
got
look,
head on.
right. Yeah, right there. Look at that. Like, it's
Yep.
this weird, like, that almost makes it worse, right?
I know. You have a moment to process that you've been had.
Ugh.
So
My
I get
real quick, Brian. My
Yeah.
5-year-old probably shouldn't have been watching this with my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old. He's like, Baba, is Harry dead?
What'd you say?
What are you supposed to say? Yeah.
It's like, yeah, his family won't be seeing him anymore.
I'm like,
Now keep watching.
He will no longer be going home and having some sex.
Yes, right. Remember he said that at the beginning of the movie.
But I
So
love
the producers paid. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love Keanu's reaction the way he plays it.
Oh yeah, it's great. And it's totally. That's another thing that could have seemed silly, but you're sort of by it. This is the first time he loses it.
That's the thing, right? Like the trope of the likable doomed partner was so well established that like Dirty Harry movies made a joke out of it, where like every movie his partner gets killed, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, we do have an investment in their friendship and it's not just a marriage of convenience. These two guys know each other, they love each other, and it should be hard, you know?
Yep. Wait, I'm bound and determined to say this fact.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
when the house blew up, producers paid them $5,000 to blow up that house,
Really?
and then they also rebuilt it for them.
Oh, well, shit. Okay, yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
That house needed rebuilding because as you look at it, it was like an artifact from 1974. Everything, the carpeting, the walls, I was like, oh my God, it's like a time machine.
I mean, if you're going to do a remodeling project, you can just go, yeah, you can blow it up.
We will pay you to let us remodel your house. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, sure. I love his freak out here too, by the way, when he just grips that bar like, "Argh."
Yeah. It feels entirely believable, you know?
Yeah.
It's, going back to the genius of the original Die Hard, right? I think what made that movie work so well was the fact that John McClane has these very human reactions, right? Mm-hmm. John McClane's a very different character from Jack Traven, but that's the connective tissue. It's an everyman. It's a regular guy.
Yep.
And that's Brian. That's what's missing in so many of these movies is you're creating this invincible superhero type character, and that's completely looking past what made both of these films work, Die Hard and Speed.
Yeah, I just noticed, I don't know if I've ever noticed this before, but just now when he's having his freak out, the camera, it does a good job of, it's on him and Annie.
Yes.
So we're in their space and he's finally letting out what he's probably, has been building up all day. And then she, a little tearfully, is just like, hey, hey, hey. Like,
Yeah.
she calms him down. And then he turns around and we finally see all the passengers seeing their hero,
Yeah.
have a weak moment.
Yeah.
And he kind of has this, okay, like, I have to be the guy. And I've never noticed this, but Sandra Bullock grabs his hand and starts rubbing it.
Yeah, she does.
Good stuff, man. This movie. Not every movie would think to do that.
This is absolutely the type of film that should be studied in
This movie should be studied. I
Yeah.
agree.
you
I think
know,
every action director should watch this movie before they make an action movie. Well, you know what I mean? Cameron's fine.
but everyone else, you're on notice.
You know what I'm saying?
And I also love that they set up his the fact that Howard Payne is spying on them and how he's spying on them.
Yes, it's a brilliant little twist. They've had a little camera on the bus the whole time. The whim of a madman.
This is also part of that era just before cell phones became ubiquitous.
Yes.
And whenever I watch a movie like this, I'm always like, now everyone would have their phone out. Everyone would be tweeting about it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be such
And the
a
whole
different
nation would be like on the bus with them through social media.
through social media, And
Yep.
and I'm like, man, what a pain in the ass for screenwriters now to have to account for that.
Yeah. Were we talking about Rim of the World? Oh, you interviewed the writer, right?
Zach Stantz, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he talked about how they all had the cell phones, but he found kind of a way to knock them all out because it's just no fun when they have.
That's the problem, and that's what I'm saying. It's like the mid '90s was this time where cell phones were there, but they weren't enough there to be able to solve every problem.
Not everyone had them in their pockets.
Not everyone had them in their pocket, and not smartphones weren't a thing, so you couldn't Google up a solution,
Yes.
right?
I want to call out this moment too. I like this where Joe Martin's giving this news guy a hard time. He's like, tape it. He's like, and then the guy snaps, it's taping. I love that.
That's a little thing, which I love.
Yeah.
The guy's like, I'm doing it, all right, or whatever.
This is so genius, This is a great idea. Like, film them all just sitting still and then loop it. It's a good idea.
Well, and the fact that they're not able to get as much as they would like, and that's the thing that ends up getting them into trouble later.
Yeah, and that stupid passenger moving. Right? She puts her purse down or something.
Way to ruin it, lady.
Ruiner. That's you, right? I feel like I'm quoting you back to you.
I say that all the time. Way to ruin everything, ruiner of stuff.
Choo-choo. There we go. Yeah, we see the purse.
You had to take a piss.
Yeah.
That's why you missed it.
Oh, he's drinking that Coke. They even set it up. I didn't even notice that. Look, and there's a bunch of Coke bottles on the table. That's funny.
You know what's funny is that Dennis Hopper, I feel like this is, most people would know him most from this. Mm-hmm. But he's passed away, but he was a very well-known actor, and it's weird how we really only think of him from like 3 roles. Like Easy Rider,
Yep.
Apocalypse
This?
Now, and this.
Apocalypse Now, of course. Yeah.
Right?
I was like, what's the third? Yeah.
And yet, he was one of the most like well-known like bad guy faces.
Yeah. And I'd add Blue Velvet.
Of course, Blue Velvet. Okay, sure. And again, some
For you sickos.
Bowser Koopa.
Bowser Koopa, yes. This is a good. Oh, that was kind of smart the way they shot that. By the way, they made it look like the buses were moving, but they shot it where you didn't see the ground. You just the plank, and they're kind of wobbling the camera. Here you're seeing it, but that was a good way to sort of cheat it and just have them go and not have to have the bus moving.
So here's my question. Obviously, the bus is not actually going 50. How fast was it actually going?
That's a good question.
Because that right there, that doesn't look like it's going 50.
Yeah, no, 50 for no. Oh, by the way, have you noticed that there's no more airport behind them anymore? It's all desert.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
That is because LAX was like, heck no, you're not blowing something up in front of all of our passengers, so everyone's worried about what's going on.
Studio's like, fine.
That's a good shot there, huh?
So
Alan Ruck hanging there.
So Alan Ruck, is it better that he lives, or do you think he should have died?
Oh, I think it's better he lives because just alone for that hug with Ortiz.
Yes.
Like these people are bonded now.
Exactly. That was my exact point I was making. I was like, that hug is an earned moment.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
It'd be funny if they hooked up too, just like Sandra Bullock. And
Yeah.
That's like the other story.
So many connections.
Ortiz like, relationships that happen.
They should do like with a dry, cool wit like that, I could be an action hero. You know that moment from The Simpsons where you just hear that in the background as the camera's panning. I hear extreme circumstance. Like just, it's also happening somewhere else. But yeah, that was a good. I gotta call it. I mean, just where they put the camera right there, where you see the ground running from side to side, knowing how insane it is.
Yes.
And Ruck hanging there with his legs flailing and the sparks coming from the thing. That's good stuff, man.
If that's me, I absolutely shit my pants.
There's no way they sell this so well. I wouldn't get on that thing.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
would
we're
for
talking
sure
about they
be
taking
poop
the
in
panel,
my
floor
pants.
panel.
Yes.
That is a great shot of her right there with her. You sort of see her legs and then these sparks and whipping pavement. And you're like, those things should not be near each other.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But it's a pretty clever way to get out of there.
Well, maybe I'd get on there if I had Keanu Reeves to hold me. I guess.
That's funny. It's kind of a clever way to slow them down, too. Have all those kind of cones or whatever those are. So anyway, this shot. Now we got to run away. Which, by the way, this is pretty reckless.
Extremely. Because as the plane, that could have gone way
runaway
worse.
Bus. Running around an airport. All these people working.
Yes, I had that exact thought.
Pacific Courier Freight, by the way, is the brand of airplane from the Die Hard franchise.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. So shared cinematic universe?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Now, how cool is this? And it's great because the bus blowing up is one thing, but like, let's have it blow up into an airplane and have the airplane blow up.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And then the passengers, it's kind of cool seeing their reactions like, we were on that thing?
And watching it, that's a real plane and that's a real explosion.
Yeah. And this shot, I looked it up. What is it? It would cost $80,000. I'd say that's $80,000 well spent.
I was about to say, you see every cent of that on screen.
Yeah. And it's really great watching their reactions. The passengers.
Man, they had a hell of a day. They go home. You will not believe what happened to me today.
That poor guy. The guy towing the plane.
As he runs away.
Thanks a lot, is what he should have said.
What's funny is, like, he's a little slow on the uptake. Like, yeah. To me, I'm running away way before that happens, you know?
Yeah. That's great. I like her own freak out here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't call it a freak out, but it's her finally able to exhale her emotions.
Right.
She's rattled. I think in some movies they would just kiss.
Right. And that would be, again, normally this is where, Let It Snow starts playing and credits come up, you know?
Sure. And that's, some movies that's what you're supposed to do. This movie doesn't want that.
But Brian, that's the thing. Think about it. We're at 90 minutes. So if the movie ends here, it's all good. You know what I mean?
You could, yeah. You could end it here. I mean, you obviously got to solve Hopper. But yeah, we got a whole other set piece coming up here.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, I think it's like, how do you keep your momentum going without like giving your audience fatigue?
Mm-hmm.
And so they find, in terms of allotment of time to set pieces, the third one and the first one roughly have the same amount of time, and yet there's not enough of a lull here for us to be like, all right, let's wind it up. You know,
mm-hmm.
There's enough for you to very quickly take a breath, but then we move right into the next thing.
Even though when Keanu says that, like, he didn't know it blew up.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, as an audience, you're sort of like, oh yeah.
Right.
So now you're like, well, let's do this. Let's wrap this up. And here, I think they're descending on Pershing Square down in LA.
See, when I think of these, like, phone call bad guys, like my, like Howard Payne. There's also John Malkovich in The Line of Fire.
Right? Yes. I would love to revisit that. It's been a while.
Dude, that's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I think Malkovich was nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
That doesn't surprise me. That was, by the way, I had the whole Bart not allowed to see Itchy and Scratchy movie reading the novel experience with that, where my parents would let me see it because it was rated R or something. And I was like 12 or 13 or something. And so I read the book.
Of In the Line of Fire?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
You have seen the movie since then, though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I saw it when it
That's
eventually
another
came out
one
on
with the
video.
likable doomed partner, because Dylan McDermott is Clint Eastwood's partner.
Right.
And you're like, shit, he's done, that guy.
Yeah. I think there's a shot coming up here. I love the way they reveal Hopper. They do this kind of weird camera close-up thing. Like the camera's already on close-up,
Yep.
but it's not focused on an object, and it pans down really fast from like a building, and then it lands on his face. And you're like, did you? It's really...
And the beauty of it is, it totally works, because we know who he is, but she doesn't. Why would she?
Uh-huh.
Right? So it's that the film itself using our knowledge, the audience's knowledge, to escalate the tension.
Yes. It's scary when a character doesn't know what we know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Sees all the snipers.
So his
I'm
deal,
smarter than you, Jack.
his entire deal is that he lost a thumb.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a bomb squad guy.
Right.
He lost a thumb, and he's pissed because he feels like he was owed more than he got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crappy watch and a sorry about the hand.
I think that's a big part when constructing a film like this is the bad guy has to be charismatic on some level,
Yes.
but also it's like, what are they trying? Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Right? And I think something like this, again, you can get your arms around it. Not to say that you're okay with why he's doing it, but you're like, okay, I understand. Like, I get it. I get what's at stake here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. This is so good. I can imagine seeing this for the first time where you're like, what are you doing? No, I'm not with him.
Bruised forearm. Keanu Reeves is just, I mean, he's so effortless. I remember on like Mad TV, they did a funny thing where he's like teaching an acting class, but it's like speed Keanu Reeves. And so he's doing that. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who played him. It was funny. Anyway.
That's funny. The money's moving.
I remember this, like, just rewatching it, I had forgotten about like the hole under the garbage can.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a great reveal where, I was like, how would he have got, he went under. It's brilliant. Brilliant,
Yeah.
I tell you.
See, now we get all the lens flares.
Yeah.
I love this. The best lens flare, one of my favorite, if I had to make like a top 5 lens flare moments, it's when we reveal that Sandra Bullock has the bomb vest.
Yes.
And the way the camera has just these flares going bonkers around her. Because it just adds to the surreal, high tension sort of moment that's happening, right?
Yeah.
It subconsciously makes this. And look at that. It's even flickering.
Yep. As she turns around, it's great.
Yeah. Gosh, that's amazing. Seriously, that is like, Yonda Bunt, man, come back.
So here was my thought as I was watching it. I was like, at that moment,
Oh, that shot. Sorry.
what is Jack thinking? Is he, because my thought was, what if like she was revealed to be like the real mastermind the whole time?
Wait, her?
Yeah, when he sees her with like the bomb vest, like that would have been another twist you could have done.
That she was working with Payne?
Yeah,
You could do that, yeah.
you could have done that.
Yeah.
Like at that moment, is his thought, "Oh my gosh, she's a victim. Oh my god, she's behind it all." Like, you don't know what he would be thinking, Jack. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole pop quiz hot shot, that's a I like how it's a runner throughout the movie. And that's a Whedon thing. This is the other thought I had, was if this had become a series with Keanu Reeves, would that have become his like yippee-ki-yay?
Right. Pop quiz, hot shot.
Like every movie, it's like a different thing,
Yeah. That's a good point.
right?
Sorry, now I'm starting to watch the movie.
I know.
Oh, just a kind of funny little anecdote that I found when I was researching this was apparently there was an instance where a school bus full of kids, the driver did have a heart attack in real life, and one of the boys jumped into the driver's seat and, got the bus safely pulled over, and they asked him why he thought to do that or how he did it, and he goes, "Yeah, I saw that bus movie."
Get out of here.
Yeah, and he actually had a halftime at a football game. There was a ceremony even for him, celebrating him.
Wow, no kidding.
Crazy, huh?
That's a good story.
Yeah.
So
This is kind
over
of
here,
scary. Him firing off this gun with all these people around. It's kind of like
it's as I'm watching this, I'm like, a big reason we don't see movies like this as much anymore. I feel like it's like the pre and post 9/11.
yeah, like a whole sort of terrorism angle.
Yeah, like terrorism for entertainment. Mm-hmm. Like maybe I'm blinkered and I'm just misremembering, but I don't remember the last time we saw a movie in this vein, in the vein of all these things that just proliferated throughout the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that, even though 9/11 is like, we're coming up on 20 years since it happened. Mm-hmm. Did it change the landscape of movies?
Maybe in a sense where when we have gunfire going off in a subway station with real people, that there's something uncomfortable, just depending on how it plays out. Whereas when you got John Wick, like we were talking about, it's so cartoony that I don't even think too much about the violence.
Yeah.
And those are insanely violent. But it's like the reality is just sort of nuts.
Yeah.
So it changes. Like right here, actually, when this subway driver gets shot, like I hate that. Like it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because that's the reality of this movie. Like that's a guy. And this is like a really tragic thing. Whereas in other movies, when everything's kind of heightened, and then it's like, well, yeah, everybody around these people gets shot. And you just don't think about it.
That's true. The train driver, by the way, you know who that is? That's Richard Schiff. Right there.
No.
He's Richard Schiff, right?
Wait, not by name. Remind me?
He's Toby Ziegler on The West Wing. He was Professor Hamilton in Man of Steel.
Oh man, yeah, I don't. I may not know him as well as you do.
Google his name. I guarantee you know. He's in. Oh no, you don't really know the Lost World. He's the guy who gets eaten by the T-Rexes in the Lost World.
They split in half?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I was going to try to point it out because I couldn't find her. You know who's in this movie playing a bag lady?
Who?
Veronica Cartwright from Alien.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, so she's the cans woman?
She hugs her.
Is that it? Because I saw in the IMDb thing, it said like Cans Woman 1, Cans Woman 2 or something.
Yeah, she's the one who like hugs her and gives her a kiss.
How random, huh?
That's... I almost wonder, like, why? Why would you get somebody like Veronica Cartwright for that?
I don't understand. But I was like, it's all coming together.
Yeah, I'm wondering, was that like a favor to somebody, you know?
Yeah. This is a good foreshadow, by the way. Him crawling on the thing, and it's like, whoa, watch out, you got to duck every now and then.
And that's... So that's the thing, right? We have to escalate the stakes, and we have to... That's the thing, is movies like this, the one thing you realize is it's not satisfying that the villain be arrested.
Yeah.
Even though in a normal world, you're like, that's what should happen, right? Mm-hmm. So the villain has to die, but it can't be a direct, like it can't be the hero just exacting
shooting
vengeance.
him in the head, because that would be unsatisfying.
Exactly. So you have this weird, and you see this all the time, where we set up these scenarios where how do we kill the villain so that it's emotionally satisfying while still preserving the inherent heroism of our hero. And you know,
yes.
And a good example is in Lethal Weapon, where Mel Gibson is fighting Gary Busey at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And he has that moment where he's like, "It's not worth it," or whatever. Like, I'm not, you don't, I'm not going to kill you, whatever, right? Oh, good, he's a hero, but he still has to die.
Yes.
So he pulls his gun, and then the good guys shoot him because, well, he had it coming.
Yep.
So kind of here where you have Payne and Jack fighting, it's like he has to die, but it has to be his own stupid fault.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I was thinking, we got off the bus. I was like, what else could you have done on that bus? I was like, I guess you could have gone on top of it. And
Yes.
then, no, you save that for this. They're on top of a train.
Exactly.
Didn't occur to me. And you're like a little nervous that he's got that stick in his hand that could blow up Sandra Bullock, and he's
Right.
in a fist fight. You're like, oh, please be careful.
What do you do? What do you do?
Jack?
See,
What do you do?
It's a great runner.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah. I'm smarter than you. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm taller. It's great.
Now, yeah, right there. There's your R rating right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I realized that as I was watching with the kids because I didn't remember the movie. That I was like, oh, yeah, I should have skipped past that. Now,
Did you make a joke like, looks like he lost his head or something like
well,
that?
no, because Keanu says that.
Oh, does he? Oh, he says that to her in here, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot. Yep. there
I
you
like in Austin Powers where he keeps making like head.
go. Yes.
He'll never get a head.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley's like, yeah, okay, and he keeps going.
right. And even like a little like turned off fight, like, I guess, yeah. Oh, by the way, this is where I learned that people who steal money, there can be dye packs inside of them.
See that?
Formative years for me.
I was about to say, so the reason that you did not pursue a life of crime was at least partly because of this movie illustrating for you. Oh, that could happen.
Darn. And by the way, I mean, the whole how do you solve this issue of the runaway train? And it's like, well, speed it up.
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep with the speed thing.
Here's the thing, though. If you're Dennis Hopper and you're a cop, how do you not assume that they would put dye packs in there,
That is a very good question.
right?
Yeah. He did bombs. He wasn't with the whole money transfer thing, right?
Okay, touche. There we go. Now, Keanu Reeves gets the I'm taller, and then he's like, oh, he lost his head or whatever. That's it for one-liners for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a change that was made at his request.
Mm-hmm.
Was exactly that. He shouldn't be a wisecracking McClane type.
Right. He's too focused.
He's more of a straight arrow, you know?
Yeah.
This is another great piece here where, again, escalating tension. Now this thing.
You sense this desperation in them
Yes.
here.
And that's a
Yeah.
great, like, what do you do? Well, what do you, look on his face. He sells it. And she's scared. I mean, it works so well.
Yeah. Yeah, the reality they create, or the tone, is
Yes.
just right. There's enough room for levity, but for the most part, it's pretty grounded.
She's handcuffed to this thing. There is no way to get her off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
So we have to get creative.
we have to get creative. And she's like, just go. And I gotta be honest, in that situation, I'm like, see ya. That's why I'm not the star of the movie. I'll be like, I'll let your family know. I'll be like, I don't know who her family was. I didn't even know her last name.
And then cut to the Fox executive on the last pages of your script. It's like wow. I didn't even know who her family was. Is the last line of your script
Credits.
with the Billy Idol song or whatever it is they have at the end here. Speed. But this is sweet.
Yeah.
He's gonna die with her here. He's willing to do it. Kind of curl up by the pole.
It's a great moment.
Yeah.
It
By the way, going back to when he was on the roof, do you think that was rear projection?
I just assumed that it was, yeah.
It looked pretty good. Some rear projection doesn't hold up, but that didn't look too bad.
Well, I mean, technology's gotten better, right?
Yeah. I mean, they still do that, right? On the Star Wars movies now. Outside the ship, I think they do a lot of rear projection.
Well, and like a year or two later, there was in Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible, where it's
Yeah.
that was all rear projection.
That's a cool sequence. I saw that again recently. I mean, there's like a whole floaty thing going on in it, but it's still fun.
Yeah, that it's funny with those movies because Tom Cruise has been doing them for so long. I mean, he looks like just a boy in that
Yeah.
first, you know.
Yeah.
Now he's like the old man. He's still doing that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, right here. So with it's kind of brilliant. You got to if the title of your movie is Speed, that's what you have to tonally. I mean, it wonderfully simplifies your goal in the film. Your goal is how do we keep the momentum literally going? How do we keep the velocity going? How do we thematically link every aspect of this film to that title?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this movie is just a one-off. You can't.
You can't recreate it.
Anything past this becomes a self-parody.
Yeah.
Like I said, that guy Glenn Plummer, who the Jag owner, he shows up in the second one in this like random cameo, like, oh no, not this again, like
yeah.
That
should have been their first clue to maybe leave it.
Yeah,
let it lie.
Exactly.
So by the way, when that thing was, this is kind of a funny moment. When the thing was flying up onto Hollywood Boulevard, apparently that was a bus made to look like a train car, and this is the first time I've ever noticed you can actually see the bus tires.
How funny.
Below. But then when it's flipped on its side, it's back to being a train car. That almost bumps in that tour bus. And then that tour guide, can't believe it, this guy almost hit me.
Yes. Didn't have anywhere to be just then.
Now we earned the kiss.
We earned the kiss.
Yeah. Because he wasn't going to leave her.
It's so beautiful, Brian.
It's so beautiful.
It's true love. He loved her so much. And I just need a moment.
I know. By the way, we have 2001 playing at the Chinese Theater there. And in Twister, we have The Shining playing at a drive-in. So DeBont putting all these Kubrick movies.
See that? I was sitting there. I was like, wait, what's the connection? What's the connection? Oh, duh. That's the connection. I know that. And
so,
by the way, just showing how my kids are my kids. My 10-year-old was like, "Hey, 2001: A Space Odyssey."
You truly are my son.
I know.
So the shot here where we're pulling back on Hollywood Boulevard. Look to the far left. Okay, along the sidewalk, you can see dolly track. See that?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's like total dolly track for the film.
Never even noticed that.
Like way on display right there.
Never noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, so by the way, my 10-year-old, he does this a lot. He watched this and he was like, "So is Keanu Reeves the guy who played Batman in Batman Forever?" Meaning Val Kilmer. And I'm like, "No, man." And he does this all the time. And I'm like, I'm like, do all white people look alike to you or something? Because shit. Because he is so wildly off with these things. I'm like, I think all white people look alike to him.
That's really funny.
He does confuse you and Sean Coyle all the time, so.
Well, that's understandable.
Well, here we are. It's the end of Speed.
That was a blast.
It's, I had a great time watching it a week ago. I had a great time watching it again. I had a great time talking through it with you. You learned me a lot of stuff.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, we've never watched this movie together. That was just kind of fun to, I don't know, just call out the things that we liked. And I just had a blast watching it even on silent.
One of the biggest hits of summer of 1994. Sorry, all time is circular for me. But we talked about Jan de Bont, and I think it's worth mentioning again that it's just he burned white hot thanks to the mark that this movie made, and then it's just that flame was snuffed out almost instantly, and it's just a goddamn shame.
I agree. I mean, I don't know what. Maybe it's just a matter of a great script. I mean, it's great screenwriters don't need to be good directors, and good directors don't need to be great screenwriters. I mean, obviously, it's nice if they can have an understanding of vice versa, but get this man a good script, and it seems like he could put together a heck of a thrill ride for you.
I just think he's done because the truth of it is, the guy who directed Speed should be able to dine out on that forever.
Sure.
Right. So I have a feeling that he's just like, forget it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because after Speed, he, like I said, he did Twister, he did Speed 2, and then he did like The Haunting.
Which I haven't seen it.
Right.
Barbara Harris, that's the woman I always have to call out.
There you go.
Voice casting.
Yeah.
She did everything. And I worked with her in 2005, and now it's incredible. All these movies I watched as a kid, she was always there. It's so weird. Anyway, sorry.
He did The Haunting in 1999. He did Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2 in 2003, and then that's it.
Man, yeah, it's so...
right?
But yeah, maybe he's like, forget this. Maybe he's not getting the scripts he wants, and he's like, well, I don't need to do this, so why would I do something I don't care about?
I mean, it's I guess it's admirable to be able to just be like, you know what, screw it. But I would say, in my opinion, it also is a damned shame because he has a unique eye and a unique view of how to depict these things. You know, even Twister, which I don't think Twister is a great movie, but I think it's very good at being what it is. And I think to whatever extent it matters, he elevates that material.
Yeah, I need to revisit that. It's been a very long time, but it'd be fun to watch that crazy romp kind of style movie again.
It's that kind of movie. I mean, I wouldn't call it a classic. But it's fun for what it is. It's it's a great leading vehicle for Bill Paxton, the late great. Mm-hmm. And it's worth watching. It's not as good as Speed, in my opinion.
Sure. But what is? Few things are.
Few things in life are. So that wraps up this conversation.
Yeah, man, that was fun.
Brian, you know what our next commentary track is?
What?
It's Batman.
I know.
Batman 89. I feel like that's the one, brother. That's like ever since we started doing commentaries, I've been like, one day we're getting there.
It was all leading to that.
Yeah. That is our end game.
It wasn't our first test episode about like Batman. Like, isn't Batman great?
That's our actual first episode. Yep. Batman 89. It was just before it was just after The Dark Knight Rises came out.
Oh, okay.
So my point is, if you want to hear us talk about Batman 89, don't listen to that first episode from like 7 years ago. Listen to our upcoming commentary track about that movie, because it's going to be all kinds of kick-ass.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait.
So that's coming up. As far as the regular movie film show, we have an episode dropping in just a couple days. We'll be talking about the latest bits and business out of Hollywood. And, these commentary tracks have been great for us to do. They're a lot of fun, and I'm always appreciative of all the feedback that we get. If you have any suggestions about future movies you'd like us to comment on, please email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. You can also hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. And, of course, go to iTunes and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps, and it lets us know which direction you'd like us to go in. And with that in mind, I am going to wrap up this commentary. On behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zaki Hassan, and we're getting off this bus.